let's display the list of names for every contest. To start with this task, I've prepared some HTML for us to work with. I added a section to propose the name, and also I added a form for the user to propose a new name. This is all pure static HTML that you can find inside contest.js, and I've tagged this point in the course as v7.2begin. You can find all the initial HTML in this commit. So the first thing we need an API endpoint to fetch the list of names. Because right now, our API only exposes the name IDs. So this contest has 3 names, 103, 104, 105, and we want to go back to the server and fetch the information for these names. So let's first prepare the API endpoint. Ideally, we want to go to an API endpoint like /API/names, and maybe pass the name IDs here. Now, I don't want to be a pure REST API here, because that would mean that I need to do multiple round trips to the server to fetch a list of names. So instead, I'm just going to assume that the list of names will be a comma-separated list like that. And I want the API to return an object with all these names. So we'll work under API index.js. This API endpoint is going to be very similar to the contest API endpoint, because it's an object. So in here, we'll replace every instant of contest with name. And I potentially don't need to project anything. Let's just get the information for every name. And I need to find the names here based on the list of names. So we need to read this part here. So let's define it in the express as the variable name IDs. And now I can read it inside the handler as request.params.nameIDs. Now this is going to be a string. So I'm going to go ahead and split this string on comma, which will give me an array of strings. So let's map this array of strings as numbers. If we do map and the handler is just a number, that would convert it into an array of numbers. So this would give me an actual 101, 102. Cool, so let's actually put this value in a constant. So we'll call it constant name IDs. And then to find a list of names based on an array in Mongo, we do ID is another object, $in the array, which is name IDs in this case. So this section says find all the names for all the IDs that I passed to the API. And then the rest is the same. We're going to convert these elements into an object that has the name IDs as keys and the values as the name objects. Let's try it. And this is exactly what I'm looking for. It's fetching the names and placing them as key value pairs. So in the next movie, we'll take this API and use it from our React application.